Good morning. Quick little shop update for you. Wanted to go over a few things, of course, that interested me from the internet and just kind of let you know what's going on. I realize I'm kind of all over the place with a lot of my projects and stuff, and that's just the way I tend to do things here in the shop. So I appreciate you guys bearing with me and staying around to be a part of that. Haven't quit working on the airplane, but as we kind of remodel the shop a little bit, why I've got a mess back there, and I won't get realistically back to it until I get things reorganized again. So I've had a little bit of time. So in the interim, we've been working on casting stuff, foundry stuff, an awful lot. And you guys are following along. We're doing the little Atlas index centers. I'm about ready to start machining them here in the next day or two. And I've got the patterns just about done for the Quorn tool and cutter grinder for the grown-up model. I cast a few little guards for on the standard Quorn. I've never had a wheel guard on there, so I've got the first wheel guard cast, and I think I've already shown that. I'll try and put a link up above here to that. And working on a motor belt guard. Yesterday I got the second half of that motor guard cast, and I haven't shown that to you yesterday. I've actually cast for the last 4 days in a row. The weather's been nice enough, and I've been playing with this new little speedy melt furnace. And I'll give an update on that. I've got kind of some observations that I think may be interesting for that, comparing it to the homemade furnaces that a lot of us are using and the homemade furnaces that I've built and used in the past. So the main thing that I wanted to talk about today was guards for the Atlas machines, for the metalworking machines, for the lathe mill and the shaper, and primarily the shaper. And as you've seen, I've already started doing shaper castings again, the smaller shaper castings. I'll have the larger shaper castings out here before too long. I've started reworking my patterns for those a little bit. What I found interesting, of course, is when we start looking on the internet for replacement parts and some of these machines that are being parted out and auctioned off. I see a set of guards, both large and small right now, and I think anybody that spends that much money to buy a used set of guards is smoking dope. We all want our machines to be original and have all the things with them, which is why I'm doing a lot of the reproductions, because that's part of what helps finance the shop remodel and these projects moving forward. And this YouTube channel is some of those castings and reproduction parts that I do. So small shaper guards, I think I've got them on the website at about, they're less than $150 and then shipping. The large guard I anticipate having out at about $2.25 to $2.50. I'm seeing original guards or guards advertised as original guards for horrendous prices. I think I was looking earlier, and I could be looking right now, as a matter of fact. The large guard, I see one on there now for about $350 and another almost $100 to ship it. But they've got a smaller guard, and right now there's none of those large guards available. You know, whether reproduction or original, you don't see very many of them. So maybe they can warrant that kind of a price tag on them. To me, I think that's a little excessive. And a small guard that I believe came off the same machine, we've got it at $300 and another $21 to ship it. Now that smaller guard will ship in a flat rate box, and it's, I think they're $13, $15 in a medium flat rate box, which they'll fit in to ship. I don't know if that larger guard will fit in a large flat rate box or not. I've got to go back and check. It's been so long since I've cast any of them and shipped them out. But one thing I want you to be aware of, whether you're, if you choose to spend that much money on one that's touted as an original guard, that's fine. But be aware, especially on these smaller guards, when they show you pictures of them, they're showing you the inside, and they're always showing the foundry mark to show that it's an original guard. That doesn't necessarily mean it's an original guard. All of the guards that I produced have had a foundry mark on the inside very similar to what Atlas originally put on them. And I can usually identify my guards, usually. Sometimes I'm not sure, but if I've got a good enough picture of both the outside and the inside of the guard, I can usually tell if it's one of mine on the smaller guards. All of the guards that I produced will have a foundry mark on the inside, so that doesn't really mean anything. The larger guards originally were cast in cast iron. I've never seen one cast in aluminum other than my reproductions. Now that doesn't mean they weren't done, and that doesn't mean that somebody else hasn't cast them in aluminum, but originally they were cast iron, and all of my reproductions have been aluminum. I have no plans whatsoever to cast that larger guard in cast iron. It's just not, I don't think it's necessary, and it's not something I'm going to do. The smaller guard, I have only seen cast in aluminum. Now I saw one a while back that was supposedly an original guard, and it was in cast iron supposedly, and it was on the auction site. I questioned that and was assured that it was an original guard and it was in cast iron. I've never seen one in person, and I guess it's possible, but anyway, normally you will always see those in aluminum. So that's what they are, but just be aware if they're, and the ones that are on there now, I believe they are original guards. You know, the smaller guard that's on there now, I believe is an original Atlas guard just from looking at it and the way it's set up. I have no reason to doubt that it's not an original one, but I have seen a lot of machines being bought and sold over the years that have had my replacement guards on them. Over the last probably 25, 28 years, I've cast someplace between probably 40 and 50 of the smaller guards and probably a dozen, maybe a few more of the larger guards. So there's still a lot of the guards out there. And like I say, I've seen a lot that have been sold, and nobody tells you if they're a replacement guard or whatever. You know, they're just sold as a complete machine or an Atlas guard, whatever the case may be. On the Shapers, I think, or on the Shaper, the numbers I believe is an S701 and an S702. The two would be the smaller, is I believe the numbers for those. On the milling machines, I have patterns for guards for both the earlier MF models, and I can't give you the numbers for those castings off the top of my head. The later ones are a M1-401 as the upper guard and 402 as the lower side guard. I will be offering those again. I have cast those in the past, and as I get around and update my patterns a little bit, I'll be putting those on the website too. And if somebody has a preference for something that they're seriously interested in, shoot me an email, let me know, leave it in the comments section, and we can get together and I can kind of push those to the front of the line if somebody is seriously wanting one of those. Cost is going to be in line with what the Shaper guards are. You know, that lower guard, I don't expect to spend, or to offer those for more than $150 in shipping. The upper guards, they're probably going to be in that $2, $2.25 range is where I'm guessing they're going to be. As far as the lathes, I've never worried too much about offering guards for the lathes because they're readily available and relatively inexpensive. It hasn't really been worth my time or effort to develop a set of patterns for those. Now, what I do have, and I've got to go back through and check and make sure if I've got a complete set or not, I do have the safety guards that Atlas offered for the lathe, which is more the fully enclosed guards that went on there, that I think they were probably put in the schools and that type of thing. So that's kind of the update on guards for Atlas machines. So, and I've got some other stuff that at one time I did quite a few guards. I've got for, I believe a South Bend Shaper. I've got the side guard for that. And there's a few other little things there that may or may not come out of the archives and be produced at some point in time. But if someone has a preference or a desire for something, just let me know and we'll see what we can do for you. So anyway, wanted to give you that quick update. So I've got other stuff going on. Yesterday I cast, and the primary casting was a couple of castings for the overarm supports for the mill. They're cast in aluminum. The originals were cast iron. I may or may not go back and cast some of those at some point in time in cast iron, but I am gonna finish out some aluminum ones and put them out. I've had a match plate pattern for those built for quite a while, although I'm changing the gating on that a little bit. So I'm getting good castings out of it, but I don't like my gating system that's on it, so I'm changing that around. But anyway, I've got a video that I shot of that, just running that match plate, so you can see what's going on with them. That's already in edit, so I'll probably have it out here in the next 3 days. But anyway, that's kind of what's going on in the shop. Thank you for bearing with me. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. You're helping this channel grow, and I'm pretty pleased at this point in time. So anyway, any comments or suggestions, leave them for me in the comments section below. And as always, thanks for taking the time to watch.